next is a follow-up, really, to what we were just discussing, and it has about 3 parts to it. Can we start with Mr. Holbrook? A member of the audience has written this. I am tempted to vote down the budget based on the allocation of funds to a full-day kindergarten. Why should I vote yes? And what are the consequences if the budget is voted down? Mr. Holt.
As I said, I'm speaking in the minority on this issue because I did vote against full-day kindergarten. And I also indicated that after saying that I believe that it's important to move forward and to respect the decision of the board. I think the board, in its wisdom, made a decision, whether I agree with it entirely or not. It's a close call, and it was. I respect both sides' views on this matter. I think with that said, I think it's not a good thing to sort of have a protest vote. It's critically important that the budgets get approved. The consequences of budgets not being approved are pretty frightening. If people are concerned right now about things that are being proposed to be cut, I suspect that if the budget is not approved, all you're going to see is a board take the view that the community is saying they're spending too much, and you're going to see other things proposed to be cut to make sure it doesn't fail again. So my view would be that we can have honest differences of opinion. I don't think protest votes are probably what really makes sense here. I would suggest that we'll have other issues going forward. We're going to do our best as a community, as a school district, to work within the means we have available to us to continue to provide quality education and work with the proposal that's out there now to have full-day kindergarten and incorporate that into the system as we've incorporated a variety of things over the years that people questioned whether we could afford at the time. We've tremendously expanded the sports programs. We've added a whole series of new programs, including the Latin program, that at least one superintendent was absolutely convinced no one would participate in, and I think it's one of our most popular programs. So all I would suggest is it's critically important for the community to support the budget, allow the process to move forward, and have trust in your administrators, your educators, and your school board to do the right thing to provide as much possible balance as possible to make sure that the quality of the educational system is maintained.
Thank you. Mr. Horton.
I agree with Dennis. I don't think that a no vote is going to get your voice out there that you voted no because there's full-day kindergarten. The board has accepted full-day kindergarten. If the budget is voted down and they have to go to an austerity budget, you're not losing full-day kindergarten. You're losing athletics and you're losing transportation, first things right off the bat. So you're going to vote no because of something you really don't have any control of. That program is funded for the next 2 years, and it hopefully will continue to be funded through Albany by having full-time students. But voting no on a budget it's probably not the best thing to do right now. The board has cut a lot of stuff. They've done a lot of work to put together a budget within the constraints that they have, with the mandates that they have from the state. And I don't know if people understand, when you take a full school budget, the board votes on this much of it. There's very little that they can cut or add or work with because the state mandates so much of what you're going to spend your money on. I would say vote for the budget. There are things that can be done after this budget with the teachers' contracts that might be able to loosen some things up where we can keep the necessary teachers, get the 8 periods back in the high school, and keep things more of a status quo. And that's all we can hope for the future.
Thank you. Ms. Daniel.
I also agree with Mr. Horton and Mr. Holbrook that we need to support the budget. I think that there has been some confusion between the implementation of full-day kindergarten and the cutting of the 8-day period at the high school. They have sort of been linked together, and my understanding is that they are two separate issues, and as has been discussed, that there is conversion aid that will cover the full-day kindergarten, that conversion aid is available for the next 2 years, and that once it's full-day kindergarten, you're considered a full pupil, and that there will be some additional aid available to cover the costs of full-day kindergarten. To vote down the budget would be detrimental to our students, because at that point, we're going to lose more funding, and there are going to be more cuts, and that's just going to negatively impact the entire school district.
Thank you very much.
Let me be clear, the teacher cuts that we are doing in this year's budget have nothing to do with us adding full-day kindergarten. The addition of full-day kindergarten will not change the cuts that we have at the high school. We're still going to be forced to make those cuts. So I want that to be perfectly clear. I also want to say that we are talking about a budget, a school budget, of in excess of $29 million. The conversion to full-day kindergarten is about 0.5% of that budget. So I urge you not to vote it down on the basis of converting to full-day kindergarten. And I think educated minds can disagree as to whether you need it or you don't need it, and we made a decision that we needed it. The consequences of voting down the budget will be severe. We are asking for a tax levy increase of 3.5%. If the budget gets voted down, austerity means we don't get that 3.5% in the tax revenue that we need to continue next year's and fund next year's budget. What happens in that case then is we lose that money. We have an opportunity to put it up for a second vote. If it goes down again, we lose that funding. That's about 7 more teaching jobs, just to equate what it means in terms of the dollars. So I urge you, as much as you might want to disagree about the decision to go forward or not go forward, please don't vote our budget down. We have tremendous cuts that we've made this year, but very, very difficult decisions for the entire board. We regret the loss of dedicated, hard-working staff. We regret having to switch from an 8-period day to 7-period day. Full-day kindergarten will not change any of that. And if the budget goes down and we lose that tax revenue, we still have the conversion aid to go forward with full-day kindergarten. It doesn't change whether full-day kindergarten gets implemented or not. But we will have some very serious, severe consequences for our kids if the